Welcome back, everybody, to the Sonic Forces commentary. We're currently on episode 2, and we're finally beginning the main campaign. And for those of you who've never played this game or aren't nerds, as Brielle would put it, to explain what happened is we actually played downloadable content first because it takes place before the actual events of this game. And I want to point out that something that the Japanese dub has that the English doesn't is that Eggman brings up this location, Eggman Land, Eggman Rando, and then he says, no, Eggman Empire. I really think that if they referenced Eggman Land in the English dub, people would have actually been angry because the US Sonic team is insane, okay? Never forget, I think it was Bentley Jones, was talking about how she literally sat down to play Sonic Frontiers during an earthquake because she thought the boss came to life. That is not a joke, really. That really happened. And I figured to myself, look, Sonic is quality for the most part. Okay, you know what? Sonic is how I would look at, say, the X-Men movies. The best X-Men movies are really good movies. Examples be Logan and Days of Future Past. And in Sonic's case, it'd be Sonic 3 and Knuckles Adventure 1. To appease a certain individual, Heroes, even though I personally don't like Heroes. I will never call Heroes the greatest game that will never be topped, but if you guys know who I'm talking about, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But then at his lowest of lows, Secret Rings, Lost World, it's pretty bad. The X-Men equivalent would be, I guess, Origins Wolverine. And do you know other bad X-Men movies?
No.
Nope. You know, whoever the hell your husband's gonna be is gonna be a really lucky guy. Because he's gonna get someone who's quiet, damn it. Regardless.
I wish I had a quiet husband. Men are loud, noisy, and annoying.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You just made a blanket statement generalizing an entire half of the human race. How do you feel about that one?
You did too.
I did not
Generalizations are
I did
wrong.
not make a generalization. I said that the one person, i.e. your future husband, will be happy because he has a quiet person. I never said
No.
all women were loud. I never said women were annoying. You said men were loud and you said men were annoying. So I am innocent. You're guilty here.
Okay, because I don't really like men anyway.
That's fine. That's honestly fine. Anyways, besides all that, we're gonna see a bunch of characters that we were able to play as in different games. We were able to play as Vector, we were able to play as SPO Silver, Charmy, and Amy Rose, and Knuckles the Echidna. But in this game, where they decide to bring back all the characters, no, we don't get to play as any of them at all. Instead, who do we get to play as? Some phantom numbnuts named Shin Iri in the Japanese, meaning new entrant, or buddy slash newbie. I think they call him newbie. Oh, not newbie. They call him rookie. Rookie and buddy in the English dub. I also want to point out a certain thing. So in the English version of this game, they mentioned that Sonic was tortured for 6 months. Literally tortured for 6 months. But in this game that I'm currently playing, having a good time in, they never bring up torture, that he was just held on the Death Egg. To give you a little bit of context, real, the Death Egg was the Sonic equivalent to the Death Star. I'm assuming you've seen Star Wars.
No.
You haven't seen Star Wars. Okay, imagine a giant metal base with the power to destroy a planet. But now replace that metal base with the power to destroy a planet and give it the power to roboticize a planet. Because, don't you know, in the original games, Eggman tried to turn cute little woodland animals into robots. And he succeeded in some instances, but, you know, Sonic couldn't enter that. Okay, so you don't play the Sonic games, and you watch the show, I guess. What do you think of the character of Sonic? Not his Not like his marketability, no, just the character Sonic. If you met Sonic, what would you think of the guy?
報告によるとソニックは何ヶ月もそこでただひでえ目に遭わされ続けてる
You
ら
want
しい
my honest answer?
Yeah, go for it.
I think he was hot.
救出作戦ならもう始まってるぜエミ
I see.
シャトルを拝借するための部隊がケミ
I
カル
see.
プラントのスペース
You
ポート
posted a
に向かっ
really
て
nice image of Amy Rose. I think I'm gonna edit that
昔な
in.
がらの武者破りだ
That's probably going to be a thing I do. Because I actually, you know what, I'm gonna download the image right now while we're still recording. Save image as
こちら SPO 隊
videos,
今のところ持ちこたえられそうだ
Sonic Forces, titled Amy image, edit in later. Okay. I have now saved the image onto my computer. So this character we're playing as represents the player. It's our avatar. I don't know. I'm gonna let everyone know right now that I am 100% male. So this avatar is not really representative of me. It's more along the lines of the same reason I pick, I don't know, the female character in a lot of video games. But in this case, it's because I really like the sound effects this character makes. Seriously. Like when the cat in Japanese voice 1 takes a hit, for example, it lets out this like little squeal that I just find kind of adorable. And then whenever it's in cutscenes and it's showing like images of being happy, it's a much more appealing sound than say the English version of the character. What do you think of, say, just an example, an English versus a Japanese version of a game originally made in Japan? In terms of the acting itself, not any other features.
I prefer it in English because I can actually understand it. And
What if
I
you
don't-
put
I
English
can't.
subtitles?
Huh?
You put English subtitles in the Japanese version, to be fair.
Well, even so, I can't really tell the difference between the acting because I'm not Japanese, so
I mean, I'm not
I
Japanese
don't-
either.
I don't speak it. That's what I'm saying. I don't like.
That is the difference between us.
Well, I do know that. Like, I said I don't know. I said it wrong. But I mean, I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know how they're supposed to pronounce things. So I can't really tell which acting is better or not. So I just prefer English because I can understand that. I don't like reading. Like, I like reading, and I can read subtitles. Like, I'm fine with that. But I'd prefer to actually hear it, not to like constantly be looking.
That's fair. Mind you, I think that if I'm gonna watch a show, I'm gonna be constantly looking at it regardless, but...
Well, yeah, but I want to look at the actual show and be able to like not have to look at the subtitles. And also, sometimes I have to get up and I don't want to like pause it, so I just listen to what's happening. But I don't do it for like a long time because I fucking hate when my mom does that. But like, I'll like if I have to get something real quick, I don't want to have to pause it.
Do you need help? Like, why you bring up your mom? No one ever brought her up yet.
Because I'm saying that I don't walk away from the screen for like a long amount of time. I just do it for a second, but even a second is kind of enough to miss something.
That's a fair statement. I'll give you that one. And here we have a scene that pissed off a large amount of people because this watered individual is called Chaos Zero. The thing is, Chaos has 7 forms. Chaos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Perfect Chaos. Tails here fought and defeated Chaos 4, who is a lot stronger than Chaos 1. Why the hell is Tails cowering in fear? And here's another issue I have with the English dub. The English dub of this game said Tails lost it. No, he didn't. He is perfectly fine in terms of his reason and a few other things. But his fear here doesn't make any sense. It's not justified. I understand that the next game, Sonic Frontiers, which you actually joined me on for the first and final part of the series, attempts to address the issue that's been going on, and truth be told, I blame Pontaf. Okay? Pontaf were the writers that began in Colors, and I could feel the difference in the writing team. It just didn't seem cool to me, okay? when I first saw Sonic Colors, I asked myself, am I too old for this series? Because you gotta remember though, I'm not an adult yet. Okay, when I first saw Sonic Colors, I was what, give or take 9 years old. Just give or take. And even then, I started to ask myself, like, am I too old for this video game? And for a while, I thought I was. If it wasn't for the fact that they created this game called Sonic Generations, which was a celebration of the 20th anniversary of Sonic, I probably would have quit the game after Black Knight. But the thing is, you know, Generations was so good, I said, okay, let's keep going. And then I discovered the Japanese dub of Sonic X around that time, really enjoyed it, and then I went back to play Shadow the Hedgehog, also had a good time playing that one. Because I didn't really, I grew up with the internet, obviously, I'm young enough to have grown up with the internet, but I wasn't really following the internet until much later. The one that always gets people is that I didn't have an email address until I was 15. Can you imagine that? Can you?
What?
The fact of the matter is, I did not have an email address until I turned 15.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the internet, I had access to the internet, but I didn't really follow it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I would have started following it in middle school, but the thing is that I went to a ghetto middle school, like the definition of ghetto. And the only social media platforms I ever really liked were YouTube, MySpace, which is currently still around, but no, there's not enough people to actually be on there, and Vine. And Vine is shut down, so who cares? You know, very sad. And I'm not gonna lie, the reason I was never on Facebook or Twitter, because I do have Facebook account, Twitter account, but I never used it. In fact, I think the only thing I've ever posted on Facebook was an image of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch as a plushie. And even then, I only did it as a test photo to see if I could do it. And then I never touched it again. And the reason was, like, I was with a group, and this was before 2015, so before, like, all this, politically correct nonsense became, you know, widespread. We just said, we're not gonna use Twitter. And we say it because it looks gay. Now you gotta realize we're a bunch of you know, immature teenagers, and we weren't, you know, all about any kind of, you know, stance. However, it's so funny to me looking back that the reason I didn't have an email for so long, or the reason I didn't have a lot of accounts for so long, is because I was with a certain group and it shaped my opinion around a platform. But then there's the question of, didn't I have a YouTube channel when I was a small kid? Yes. Here's the thing, I used my parents' email. Well, it was Hotmail at the time. Get with the program. Can you believe people used Hotmail back in the day? Did you even use Hotmail?
No.
Damn. Anyways, I want to point out that this is a kid's game, but we just had a scene where our avatar character holds a gun to Infinite while cowering in fear. Hey, this is straight out of a war movie. And yet we also have characters who are like, I have great news, Sonic is alive! Right after saying, we don't know where Sonic is. And at this point, we're going to do the same thing we always do in the Sonic game. We break Sonic out of jail. Well, this is Prison Hall, but you get the point. Yeah, beginning in 2001, there was this random streak of children's video game characters going to jail. The most famous one was Mario being put in holding in Mario Sunshine before his court date, and Sonic going to jail in 2001's Sonic Adventure 2, and then going to jail again in the re-release of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Well, not really a re-release, more of a remaster per se. And I noticed that even like kid shows had characters going to jail. In the 2000s, iCarly's Sam Puckett went to jail. We had the case of Yusei Fudo from Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to jail. Like, what was it about the 2000s and sending their characters to jail? Can you elaborate on this one? Just what's your opinion on this? What do you think happened?
What?
With the fact that in the 2000s characters just went to jail even in children's shows.
I don't know. Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing. It just means you didn't watch as much TV or play as many games as I did. Because look, I play video games, right? I definitely play video games. I record myself playing video games. I'm not gonna deny that. But I wouldn't say that I would be like a hardcore gamer, you know? But when I was a little kid, I used to say that because, truth be told, I would be playing like 12 hours a day. It was getting really unhealthy, you know? I started eating fast food all the time. I gained a bunch of weight. And let's just say I did not make the best decisions of my life. Anyways, as you notice, the little cat I'm playing as keeps changing wardrobes. How do you think she's going to look at the end of this game?
I don't know.
It's always, I don't know with you. Why can't you ever say, let me think about that? Or, here's what I hypothesize.
Because I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. And now we fight one of the most forgettable enemies, Zavok. Or Zavoku, or Zavik, depending on which game you're playing. He's pretty much the Sonic's equivalent to Bowser. You know, just some monster dude who wants to defeat Sonic for some reason. Kind of like how... But the thing is that Zavik is a bit different from Bowser, because at least Bowser has a running gag that he tries to kidnap the princess. And don't forget, in Super Mario Sunshine, when Bowser Jr. said, I won't let you take my mama away, bad man, to Mario, Peach had to think about it. She said, Mama? Peach? I'm your mama? Which implies that she had illicit relations with Bowser. Okay? The thing is, I don't see a joke in this series where, say, Zavok will imply, like, Zavok has a kid and that kid will imply that Amy's his mom or something. And I think that that's a good thing, because the Sonic community would get so angry at that. Because, here's the thing, right? There are two communities I respect for the wrong reasons, and that would be the Sonic community and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. And I don't mean the majority, I mean the extremely fringe minority section of those already minority aspects of Civilization. So the extreme minority, the ones that will literally get violent for this game, that will literally commit crimes for these series. The famous one in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the Tokyo Dome, or that one instance in Shonen Jump Championship where two guys befriended this kid just so they could rob him of his binder. Or how at a Taco Bell somebody was playing a Minerva card from Yu-Gi-Oh! And they pulled up to him at the parking lot with a pistol, saying, "Give me your card." Or in the case of Yu-Gi-Oh!, in the case of Sonic, we have people literally risking their lives, sitting in earthquakes just to play Sonic. We had people stealing demos from a demo with Sonic Frontiers, and I think it hasn't been confirmed that that would happen, but that's the only way I could realistically see the game for Sonic Frontiers coming out pirated on Switch days before the game was even supposed to be released and available to the public. Now, obviously, there's always a chance that somebody just got one of the early import copies and distributed it through there. But something tells me it was from the demo, because you could find the file for Sonic Frontiers on the internet at the time. You can probably still find it, assuming the Sega Shinobi haven't taken it down. What do you think? Is there any group of people you can kind of respect because of their connection to a franchise in terms of what they have done for it?
No.
No? Great!
What? I don't understand.
Are you even paying attention to my ramblings here?
No, I'm not.
Why not? Are you watching adult videos on your phone?
No, I space out when people are talking.
You know what? You do the next episode. You talk for the majority of the next episode.